Bro, I'm still high and drunk a little bit too.
Since last night.
Since last night, bro. It's wild. It was wild. It was a wild night. And then I got it in like 30 times.
Oh, so you still hit?
Yeah, I still hit. What do you mean? Of course I still hit.
He said he's waking up the babies and all that.
Look, I got kids, bro. You know, I know how to do that.
This single life for you, bro, is getting scarier and scarier.
It is scary as wild, bro.
Every goddamn week, man. But hey, let's start this show, man.
Okay.
Let's start this show today. Hey, welcome to Four Black Dads. I am one of your hosts, your boy G Wade, and to my left,
Ikes. Hi, everybody.
Ikes. He's just Ikes. Hey, man, y'all in for a treat today. Ikes, man, we got somebody in the building.
Yes, sir.
We're not in the building, but on the podcast.
On podcast. He's been doing comedy for a while now. Like, I came across the story. Like, you was at the Northwest Black Comedy Festival, and we ran into each other because we both short black dudes. And you had a short black dude set. And then I was like, yeah. And then when you was like, yeah, for the short black dudes, I was like, yep. So ever since then, I've been following you since you got on North Black Comedy Festival. And so far, like, you just so you just won the the San Francisco International competition, like last year, right?
2022.
2022. Yeah. And then and he's been touring. He just started touring with Dave Chappelle. And he wasn't in Portland when I saw Dave Chappelle because he couldn't make it, but I was really stoked to hear that and stoked to see that. And then when he said he wanted to come on the pod, I was like, yes, sir. So we got Chris Riggins, everybody.
Yeah, and he just came back from Europe. Give it up for Chris Riggins, y'all.
What's up, guys? What's up, fathers? How y'all feeling?
Pretty good.
It's been a good day.
Yeah, apparently it was a great night. You got to go meet the whole family and still smash. That's winning. I mean, I don't know what it's like in Portland, but you know, LA, that's a platinum win.
Top.
Thank you very much. I'll take that for sure.
Yeah, and then walking in right now, late as usual.
He
on Black Dad time today.
Yeah, the darkest nigga in the room. Always the latest nigga in the room.
Our guest co-host for the day. Give it up for my guy to my right. Tell him who you are, bro.
Hey, man, it's your boy Q, man, a.k.a. Doolie Fam. And I ain't always just late. We all got kids.
Damn. You get it? Explain yourself.
What's up, brother?
Good, man. How you feel?
Black as usual.
That's what's up.
I got my morning cup.
You would say black as usual, strolling in the building 30 minutes late
with a Plaid Patrick coffee.
Is it black? Is it a black coffee?
Black coffee, man. Nothing else in it. I had on this coat, looked like I was a bum, so they thought I was stealing.
Black coffee is underrated.
God,
man! It's also like if you trying to lose weight, you trying to work out, black coffee. You know what I'm saying?
You are not lying. It is an amazing pre-workout, my guy.
Oh, you sound like you've been in prison before. It's also prison currency, brother. You know, coffee is prison currency.
I didn't know that. I didn't know black coffee is prison currency. Well, that's good to know. In case I ever decide to get into crime, I know exactly.
Hey, man, you're a comedian, man. Sometimes crime just sneak up on us. You know what I
mean? Comedy doesn't pay for years, but crime sure does.
I mean, you know, I thought about selling drugs to comedians, but then I was like, nah. Comedians are some snitches.
Ain't nobody ready to do no hard time.
We all seen the Cat Williams interview. We know.
You know what? I ain't gonna even hold you. I definitely used to give eighths of weed to whoever was hosting the show just so I can get on stage and get the hell out of there.
Oh, you know what? That's not a bad thing. That's smarter than selling.
Yeah, man. Take this eighth of weed.
It's a trade. Because
we got to get back home with them babies.
Right.
And I'm technically I ain't selling it. All right, let you know.
We was gonna smoke it anyways, but it's yours.
I do not want to sit through the next 20 comedians.
Mike's too long, man.
Their sad lives.
Yeah. But yeah, Chris, man, I'm happy to have you, man. I do. First question off top though, man. How long you been doing comedy?
14 years this year.
Okay.
Nice.
I started 2010. Because I can measure because my youngest daughter was just born when I started comedy.
Okay. Where you get your start at?
I started in Oakland, actually. My first show was at the New Parish in Oakland. A couple friends of mine who are friends of Dave Chappelle. Basically, I was roasting them at another show that we were putting on with Mos Def, and they were like, "Oh, well, if you think you're funny, we got Dave coming to town in 2 weeks, so we're gonna throw you up."
Mm.
And they remembered. I forgot about it, and they hit me up like 3 days before. You doing this shit? I was like, "Fuck, yeah, all right, I'm doing it. I'm doing it." So I wrote like 3 jokes and
Question:
jumped up there.
Did you bomb, nigga?
Nah,
You
actually,
didn't?
it was one of those things. Like, all right, I'll put it like this: it's one of those things where the whole moment was kind of set up for me to win. It was in Oakland. It was opening for Dave Chappelle. And, you know, when people go see Chappelle, their mindset is whoever goes up in front of him must be somebody good because he's allowing them to go up in front of him. So they kind of don't come with the same energy that you get when it's like an unknown show. And they're like, all right, motherfucker, you better be funny.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you better make us laugh. All right, come on now. You know what I'm saying? Where with this show, it's like, yo. And then when it's Oakland, so it's all my friends and family who came to see Chappelle. They didn't know I was going to be there. And they're like, oh my God, what? And so it just was one of those things where it was like a lot of love in the room. And I was able to just kind of parlay my experience of speaking in front of audiences. Cause like, you know, that was my first time doing comedy, but I used to rap. I've hosted shows, you know, I mean, all the way back to when, you know, I don't know if y'all experienced this with your moms, but making me do you know, scripture at church and shit, you know, being in church plays and doing all that. So being in front of people wasn't the problem. So it was just a matter of like, you know, material. So I was able to take 3 jokes and I stretched them for like, they left me up there for like 20 minutes my first time. And it was like, it was just natural. It just felt like, oh, okay, I'm talking to people. I'm telling them stories that I always told them drunk in the smoking section. But now I'm doing it on stage. So it just became a matter of doing that and turning into that. So no, I did pretty good. They asked me to come back the next night.
Okay.
Meant to be.
Yeah. That's a different kind of spark.
Do you so like you started out like on such a like that's a high level, and then you had to go back down and do like open mics and then work your way back up to the where you're at now, correct?
Yeah.
How was that?
I mean, literally. What was saying?
How was that? How was what was that process like? Because that's like big. That's like smoking crack, and then now you just gotta go back down to like
drinking black coffee.
Yeah,
right.
Because that's a high.
At the time, it sucked. Like, you know, it was like, yo, I'd open up for Dave Chappelle. I'm shit. I'm not like you guys. You know, and then. When you get down there and you start meeting people and, you know, learning more things, you start getting appreciation for it. Cause like now the fact that I did an arena, you know, this year I did 8 arenas this year. It's kind of like, yo, I couldn't have done that if I hadn't gone down and done those bar shows at those black bars, you know, like Dorsey's Locker and Oakland and those places where it was like, you know, no, you gotta be funny, motherfucker. Mm-hmm. You know, like I've had shows where we used to have this show at this place called the what's the name of the spot? It was in Hayward, California, 821 Lounge. And my boy Kirk McHenry hosted it. And basically before the show, he would tell us every time, so yo, this is a show, some real niggas in the audience and some killers out there. So if you're gonna be going into the crowd, make sure you ready for whatever happens, because you know, I can't be escorting every nigga to their car after the show. It's like, all right. So, and literally I got up there and I wasn't having a great set. I was bombing. And this dude just said something to me. I don't remember what the fuck he said. I was like, all right, that's my time. See y'all later. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's doing those types of things and learning, you know, when you're not doing good and how to turn the room around, and then also how to kill and how to headline, how to host, how to come in the middle, how to start the show. All these things that I wouldn't have learned by just going off with Dave Chappelle from the get-go and staying there. I wouldn't have got to experience all that. And then it wouldn't have given me the know-how to go up in front of 15 to 20,000 people and make them laugh all at once, knowing that, when I say a joke, I gotta like wait for the laughter to come back down. It's not like at a comedy club where I can kind of talk over the laughter even. I gotta just wait and then I gotta pause, and it's like different things. And then you see yourself on the Jumbotron and you're like, oh wow, this is the whole thing. And I'm glad I went down and did the open mics and got booed and bombed and told terrible jokes. And I'm so thankful for all that, because if I hadn't did that, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now.
And I love that story because that's just perfecting the craft. But is that essentially basically Dave and them do the same thing, just on a bigger platform? But that's equivalent to them going into the Laugh Factory at a Comedy Store and doing 1 or 2 hours that night just to work out some steam. Rather it's, what I mean?
I mean, that's exactly like what it is. Like he does shows, in places where it's like really small and intimate, so he can work out stuff. And then like we go do the arenas and it's boom, boom,
it's boom, boom, boom. Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then he, in the middle of our tour, he recorded The Dreamer. And it was just like, I got to see him work that material, and then to see it on the special, it's like, that's the product, because I've watched many of those jokes start off as just like, so boom, 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 idea that he says in front of 20,000 people. And then the next show, it's more developed. And the next show, like the way he works is amazing. So that's kind of like how every comedian needs to kind of look at it. It's like, you just have to try the new shit, you know what I mean? And you have to go hit the open mics. Like, now I don't get as many open mics as possible, but I take advantage of the places that I do get to work stuff out. Like, I work at the Comedy Store now. So it's like I get different kinds of sets and I'm able to work out. Like we have cold open sets. That's when you do 5 to 7 minutes in the beginning of a show to open up the show. That's more like a host set. So I go up there and I do more like hosting, like, hey, boom, boom, I talk to the crowd. Hey, where you from? Boom, 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 boom. I do some little roast. I tell a bit, I do a little bit, and then I get the crowd ready for the rest of the show. And then we also have like our own show where it's a door guy show where we do 15 minutes. So now I can stretch out. So of course I can try that new bit, those new bits, and then do the shit that I need to practice for whatever. Because like I recently did an audition for Netflix as a joke festival, and I was in New York, and I got to literally practice this set for 4 nights a week, 3 sets a night, just
nice
in New York. And so when I came back, I got off the plane. I literally slept for a couple of hours, went and did the audition. It was boom, 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 boom. And that's why, I feel it's definitely important to hit whatever stage you can hit at whatever level you are, because, it's all about how much you do it. That makes you, they say 10,000 hours makes you an expert on something. So you got to always be striving to get that 10,000 hours.
All
right. So we back. We took a little short intermission. We back right here. Welcome back before Black Dads. You know what I'm saying? Your boy G Wade.
Ikes.
Q.
And we here with Chris Riggins, man. He been giving us a lot of game on comedy starting out, and how he got to where he is right now, and just the momentum and building. So what's your favorite place that you can say you like to work jokes out?
Right now is definitely the Belly Room at the Comedy Store.
Okay.
It's just so intimate, so close, and it's like literally like the perfect place to like try new bits out, because you're like right there looking at the audience. So it's kind of forces you to really work on stuff and really be honest when something doesn't work. Like, okay, that didn't work, but it's definitely one of my favorite spots to work shit out now.
Okay.
Is No Shell still running that?
Nichelle still does do Crack 'em Up Thursdays every Thursday, 8 p.m. I mean, I think it's 8 p.m. or 8 p.m. at the Comedy Store in the Belly Room. Yeah, she's still running
My
that.
girl. Here, Chris, I had a question. Oh, no, go ahead, baby.
Go ahead.
How much time do you spend working on your craft at home? And I don't mean just like rewriting jokes or anything, but like you ever go in your bathroom, close the door, get in front of the mirror and just like kind of go through your sets?
Oh yeah, the shower. When you're in the shower, like if I got a big audition or whatever, yeah, I'll definitely go over jokes in the shower. Like that's kind of where I kind of do. Like some people sing in the shower, I'll do a whole set in the shower.
Ooh.
Be there, fingers be pruned up. I'm in the shower. All right, I gotta finish this set. You know, and, you know, the thing I will say when you practice, always practice waiting for the laugh. You know, don't ever practice like they're not gonna laugh. Wait, you know, practice like they're about to be dying when you do this shit. Because it's helpful when you're on stage because it kind of gives you a confidence. Because you know, a lot of people don't really recognize this, but confidence is one of the biggest keys to telling a good joke because you got to make it seem like you believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, this is funny. Like if you're telling a joke, like you don't know if it's funny, you know, sometimes they're like, well, if you don't know if it's funny, why the fuck you telling us? Like,
yeah, that's facts.
You're supposed to be the pro, man. So, you know, it's always one of those things to be confident, even when you don't know if it's going to be funny. Sometimes like that's like when you're telling the audience, like, all right, look, I'm going to try this new joke. I don't know if it's going to work, y'all, but, you know what? I think, you know, whatever, you know, I'm gonna do it anyway. And it's kind of like it gives them that kind of key where they're like, well, we trust you. Go ahead and work it out on us. And then that's when you can get away with your more, you know, dirtier or crazier jokes that people would cringe at normally if you just jumped on stage and just start doing it, you know.
A little segue.
So like I have a couple questions. Like, so you have teenage daughters, correct?
Yes.
What's the I'm not in the teenage daughter phase. G's in the teenage daughter phase. Q ain't in the teenage daughter phase. You got sons.
I got 2 boys, 3 and 1.
So G got 6 kids. G got 6 kids. I got 7 kids. But his daughters, he has a few. Yeah, yeah. I know. I said it like it was nothing because that's just what I live every day. But
that's amazing. I think y'all should start bands with your kids. Like, I feel like if that many kids, you gotta Jackson them up, or you gotta
Jackson them up. That sound like a beat down. That sound like a just beating.
Well, you could do gentle Jacksoning. You know, learn from what Joe did wrong. And do the opposite.
I don't think Joe did much wrong. I mean, you know.
I mean, let's be real. We're fathers. We do wrong. We just have to be wrong.
I'm a big fan of Joe.
Wrong.
I'm a fan of Joe.
I'm not gonna say Joe. I don't know Joe Jackson personally. I just know what they've said about him. But you know, he's a parent. I'm not gonna say this man had a lot of kids, so I'm not gonna say he made all the right choices. He probably went too far sometimes, but that's not my part to judge. I'm 2,000 miles away from my kids right now because they're in Texas and I'm here in Los Angeles chasing my dream. So, you know, we make sacrifices as dads, and we're not always perfect. And I think that's the one key thing that as the new generation of fathers, we need to accept, because, you know, I know my father and there's other fathers I knew growing up with who had a hard time admitting, yo, I messed up. And it's perfectly okay to say, I messed up. I didn't make the right choice in that moment. And, you know, we're all human. Yeah. So if you have that kind of in your heart, then, you know, people will understand. But yeah, you know, gentle Jacksoning.
Gentle Jacksoning. You know, is weird to me because like I feel like I just acquired 2 white babies last night. Like from I got 9 kids. I feel like so, but I don't know. It's just wild because my life was never like, because I was married for 10 years, so my life was never like that. But then like after I got divorced, I just started slutting my dick out. It's just been like, yo, nigga, get in that hole, nigga.
Get in that hole.
Yep.
Amen.
Wait, so did you have the 7 kids with your wife?
Yeah, with my ex-wife. Yep. Just one. It was just one woman.
See, you got matching kids, so you good. You know what I mean? It's easier.
I'm not in that same boat.
Matching kids.
There's no disrespect to mismatched kids, but matching kids, it's always easier because you only have to deal with one personality in regards to all those personalities. You know what I mean? Like, I have matching kids. I'm glad. I truly am glad that I got a really good baby mom. Like, you know, I'm not gonna say mother of my children. Yeah, she was my wife. We were married. We got divorced. But the one thing she has never ever played with me over is these kids. She has always made sure that I'm able to be there, take care of them, even when I was addicted to cocaine and I was out in the streets and I didn't have no kind of sense of what was going on. She always still made it a place for me to be able to be around them, and so they could, know that they had a father in their life. And I'm truly blessed for that. But, I think whatever relationships we have to have our kids is just always good to focus on the fact that it's for them.
Yeah.
Better to be cool, and not to sugarcoat shit either. Not to say that you and their moms are always going to get along. And sometimes the relationship is just so severed, there's never no get back. It's just strictly kid. It's just strictly kid business.
Yeah.
I don't talk about your personal life. You don't talk about my personal life. All we do is say, what does the child need? And that's the only way you communicate. Because even me and my ex-wife, we were like that for a while. It was literally like, yo, if it's not about the kids, let's just disassociate from each other. She, you know what I'm saying? Let's not even act like we know each other, and we only communicate through email. And now it's like, now we can text each other. Now it's like, okay, we can have conversations. Now we can go to dinner together with the kids. And it's like, it showed our kids, hey, we can split, but we also still technically a family, know?
Yeah.
Text messages look like work emails. That's funny.
No, do it.
The wildest thing happened to me last night. Like, it was literally like it was the perfect. After I busted that nut, my ex-wife called me. She was like, and I answered, and then she was like,
she knew having a good time somewhere.
Yeah, she knew, bro. I promise you, she knew. She's like, "What you doing?" I was like, "I'm asleep." She's like, "Nikki, you need to wake up. You got all these kids. You got too many kids to be sleeping." I'm like, "They with you right now."
How dare you fuck up my post-nut clarity?
So terrible. How you gonna have too many kids that you can't sleep? It's like, fam, my body physically has to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Not all the time.
I gotta rest so I can take care of them kids. That's what you're talking about. It's hilarious. Like,
but the timing, though, the timing was wild to me because it was like, I was like, "What the? Is this God?" Like,
you wearing a condom last night?
Heck yeah, I made sure it stayed on. You ever stroke? You ever stroking and you hitting it and then you bust and then you check, you still there. You're like, yes. That's how it was last night after the third time too.
But yeah, I understand the problem.
I couldn't with her. Oh, I seen how she was a parent.
Brother, preach.
I seen how she was a parent. No, thank you.
Oh no. Here's the thing. I always, it's just a little crass, but the thing is, you gotta practice your pull-out method, and it's apparent that you have not practiced, and it's because most guys like to do the surprise pull-out, where it's like you wait to that last minute where you do the Fast and Furious train jump pull-out, where it's like, am I gonna beat the train? And end up with babies because pre-cum is real.
Oh yeah,
but you gotta learn from the most informative movies that we have out here, which is porn. And you gotta pull out at least a minute and a half before you're ready to nut. Like, you gotta really just be like, all right, I'm about to nut, so I'm gonna pull this all the way out like a cool 2 minutes before and just do it the porn style, because then there's no chance that. And also,
it's true.
My pull-out game is atrocious, man. I can't do it. It feel too good. That's the best part.
It is.
You want me to stop doing the best part?
It is.
Spraying up the club, mass shooting up the club, bro. It's amazing.
It is. But then you could also, like, date older women.
They can't have babies.
Get you a postmenopausal and you all right.
I'm just lying. Say, girl, you held my booty cheeks down.
I prefer going to her house and finding Plan B in the cabinet.
You prepared.
You already knew I didn't bring no condoms.
Condoms are whacked though. I'm not gonna lie.
They're created by the man to keep black people from populating.
Facts. And that's what we got to do. That's why I got 6 of them, and I want more.
I'm good with my 2.
Yeah,
I'm good with my 2.
I'm with you. I'm cool with my 2.
Man,
I'm good. Like, and at this point where I got a 13-year-old and a 19-year-old, I'm like,
oh, you almost out of there.
I don't want to go back. I don't want that. Like, I love babies. Don't get it twisted. I love picking a little chubby baby and squeezing them and smelling their head like, you smell so babyish, and, playing with them. But the best part about all that now is like, all right, there's your mom. All right, y'all.
Yeah.
I see you again, little man. Like, that is the best part now.
I need at least 4 more.
That's what I said last night too. I was like,
want a basketball team. Ike's already got one with substitutes.
I need at least 4 more, man. I think
I'll take 3. I'll take 3 more.
I got a beautiful soul and a lot to give. These genes, I need to spread the love. You know what I mean?
There's stray animals out there too. You could get a cat. I saved this. I brought a cat back from Harlem that's sleeping in the cat tower right now.
Harlem.
So, there's all kinds of ways to spread the love without creating more humans that siphon off of your funds and your life source.
Yeah, that's all right. They're going to take care of me. When I get old, I'm going to have somebody by my bedside when I die. You know what I mean?
As long as you have girls, you're going to have some. I'm sorry for you. I know you sons are amazing too, but when they grow up, they're like, all right, nigga,
I'm gone.
See you at the funeral.
I'm gone.
See you at the funeral.
I gotta go conquer the world.
How much you leave us?
Like, girls be like, Daddy, did you eat today? Daddy, did you take your medicine today? Daddy, what did you pay your bills? Daddy. So I witnessed it. If you good to them when they're little, when you get older and they get older, they're like, Daddy, whatever you need, I'm here for. So
that's why I have 4 daughters. One of them gonna have to.
I got 4 daughters too.
The other one's gonna guilt the other one's into. I already know. I already see how it is. And this is the thing. When you see the leader, like my 11-year-old, she the leader, so I treat her the nicest. Like, you want something? Go ahead. And then she keep all the rest of them in line. It's like she's like it's like me being the warden and she's like the prison guard.
Okay.
She gotta call her boss.
Yeah. Straight up.
Doing chores, boss. Doing chores.
Man.
I want to say, for involved fathers, when it comes to sacrifice, that's just another way of saying that there is a right way to do wrong. How I look at it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely. It's be smart about dumbass shit. That's just the way it goes. But like I said, you're a human being. You're not going to be perfect. I think to be honest with kids and be like, yo, your dad's not perfect. My kids know I'm not perfect, but I don't try to pretend like I am. And that helps me with them, because when they mess up or do stuff, then I can be like, all right, get it. You know what I'm saying? I want to skip school too, but here's the facts. When you skip school, this is what happens. And it just makes things, if you don't want to go to school that day, you're not feeling it. Me and your mom, we are definitely not those parents that are like, you got to go to school. No, if you're not feeling like being there that day, rather than you go, you skip, or you get there, you get an attitude and teacher calling us, just stay home. It's not even a big deal. It's like, the way our lives is set up, it's like we might get on, if we're lucky, 75 summers to do this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if we don't start instilling in our kids that you have to balance it, there is a balance of working and playing, and you can't work and never enjoy the play side. Like, what's the point of working 40 hours a week if you don't even take some of those sick days and go to the beach and just sit there and get, go on a trip. So it's like, you gotta just use your mistakes to help guide your decisions with helping your kids. You know what I mean? Because you remember what it was like being a kid, right? We all remember what it was like. And there was points where we felt completely powerless in our parents' control. Like, it's my house. You do what I say. You eat what I write. You know what I mean? It's just this constant, this cycle of just constant shitting down. The shit trickles down. And that's just been our culture. But you can just say, you know what? I'm not doing that style. You know what I mean? I'm going to take the things I hated being done to me, and I'm going to find a different way to do them. You know what I mean? Like, I've spanked my oldest once when she was like 3, and that just felt terrible. I looked at it and I'm like, I outweigh you by 100-something pounds, and I'm hitting you. Whether you did something wrong or not, there's a better way to convey this message to you. And the message, the better way was take away something that you enjoy.
Yeah.
And then let you know why I'm taking it away. and put it where you can see it, and you can know that after 20 minutes of you not having that, I'll give it back to you, because you have to learn there are consequences, but the consequence doesn't have to be physical.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It can definitely be, like the truth and love can actually not be harsh. It could be really tender. You know what I mean? And I know people say like gentle parent. I don't believe in gentle. I just believe in, I don't do things that I didn't like being done to me as a child to my kids.
Because I'm with you on that, because I don't like to hit my kids either. But then sometimes though, they do something that does require a certain level of physical. Because I want my kids when they grow up. I grew up. My dad I got a bunch of addiction issues and that kind of stuff in my family. I want my kids when they're out there in the world and they see, somebody offers them these things and they know about it because I talked to them about it, that they know I'm not doing that. My dad would kill me if I do that. But they still have to have a healthy fear in that aspect. In the way that I parent, though, everybody doesn't parent the same. But in the way that I parent,
right,
I want them to have that healthy fear of nope. Because if my dad find out I did this, you don't want to know what's going to happen on the other end.
Here's the thing: the consequences of those actions is a healthier fear than me. You know what I mean? Like I was addicted to cocaine, so it's like I really look like an asshole being really physically violent or being upset because my kids fall into trap, because I understand how that trap is set and how you fall into it. I feel like, kids are a lot more mentally equipped to hear things than they are to receive things. You know what I mean? Like, kids are sponges. We always say this. They're sponges. Like, if you speak Spanish around your child at 2-3 years old, they're going to be speaking fluid Spanish by the time they're 6. You know what I mean? And it won't take books. It just takes you just speaking Spanish and pointing to the things you're saying, and that their minds are like, oh, so the same thing can be done with correction. Like, this, we don't do this. And they can take that in and understand it. And also for me, having daughters, and I don't know about sons, but for daughters, I feel like I never wanted my daughters to get any kind of inkling of what it feels like to have a man hit them in any shape, way, or form. And I feel like a reason why we have a culture of women who stay in abusive relationships, because it starts with your daddy. It starts with your daddy beating your ass and then being able to get away with it. And then you assume this is what love is. If someone loves me, they hit me. So, of course, this man who says he loves me and married me and gave me a house, if he punches me in my eye every couple of months, it's because he loves me. And that's why we have this cycle of doing that. And I don't want to contribute to this, because, again, for me, it's about breaking cycles. It's about things that I see for me that I just felt were wrong. And I have to take that effort to change them, and also try to encourage other people to see other avenues through it, because I definitely understand what it's like to want to choke the shit out of a kid. Trust me. It's I didn't understand it till it's like, ooh. But then I think of the later consequence of that, because, I had one friend who said, hit him now so the cops will hit him later. And I was like, well, I don't think the police ever stop and ask Black victims, hey, did your parents hit you? Oh, they hit you? All right, well, I'm not going to beat you and take you to jail, because obviously they hit you too. But no, they're like, no, bang, bang.
Right.
Oh, and your parents hit you? Now it's like, it's a false equivalency that what we believe in. And I feel like, it's the thing, like, you just got to look at, like, they don't let boxers fight boxers out of their weight class. You're not going to see a heavyweight fight a featherweight. You know what I mean? And then in the real world, we look at it like this. If you go to a job and you do something at the job that the boss doesn't like, does the boss have the right to come over and hit you? No, we don't operate like that. And the only place we operate like that in society is when it comes to our kids. It's that this is the only group of people that it's okay to hit.
Yeah.
For just it's okay. And for me, I understand that there's differences between, I'm angry and frustrated and abuse, like straight up real abuse, but a child doesn't know the difference. They just understand I'm getting hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is not something I like. And I get it. It's a correction, but also removing them from things they like. is also a correction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Taking away things that they enjoy, because then you understand there's a consequence, because that is also what happens when you go to jail. Things that you like, they take it away. So you're learning the same thing, you know, having to sit somewhere and read a book about something that you're doing. You know what I mean? Write a book report. Yeah, I want a book report on why you shouldn't disrespect your father.
Right.
Breaking generational curses with better communication. I came in late on this. You from the South?
No,
You said? Or you
I was
from?
going to ask him about
No, I'm
Oakland.
from the Bay Area. I'm from Berkeley.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard Texas in there. I'm from the South,
you know.
and I'm a firm, not a firm believer, but I grew up hearing, "Honey, I beat mine." You know what I mean? Bessie Mae tearing them kids up, even in the church.
Like, let me ask
going
you a
straight
question.
to hell.
You ever been standing there with your parents bragging about beating your ass? How did that make you feel in that
worst.
moment? Did that ever make you feel like, oh, I really love them? Oh, I'm so glad they did that. You sit there in a room full of people and they're like, yeah, I beat their ass. You know, I just whooped his ass the other day.
Man.
In his face. Like,
oh man, a couple of them ass whoopings saved me from a lot.
Well, you know, and here's the thing. I'm in the long run, we think that, but I feel like what saved you was your decision. Because don't say, and that's the thing. When you say that, you take away your credit for you deciding to make better decisions. It wasn't necessarily the ass whooping. It was you deciding, you know what? I don't want to do that. You know, I don't want to do that. And that's what it really takes. And it's kind of like, we think we do it, and like we survive in spite of those things. I believe that, you know, we took those beatings because our parents didn't know better, and they didn't have better tools to communicate the things that they wanted to communicate, because they were from a generation where it was even worse.
Yeah.
Like, you know, our parents got literally like abused. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the way I hear my mom talk about her mother on Sunday getting her newspaper and sitting with her belt around her neck so she could read her newspaper. And if you interrupted any bit of that newspaper, you was getting an ass whooping. I'm like, that's terrible.
That's horrible. Right.
Oh my God.
That's a
I would hate to wake up on Sunday morning knowing I have to be quiet as a church mouse because she needs to read her newspaper or I'm going to get beaten. Like, I'm sorry. What happens if I'm sick? What happens if something happens? I don't know. You know, like, it's just, it doesn't sound like fun. And I think we have to understand that as we go further on, this world is changing. And if we wanted to change the way we wanted to see, we have to be that change. And it starts at home. It starts in how you treat your kids, because when your kids go out, they'll treat the world better, because they'll be like, you know what? I don't like to see people hurt, and they'll change the way they raise their kids. And the next thing you know, we have this great communicative community where people talk and they express their feelings, say, hey, child, that makes me angry when you do that. Here's why it makes me angry, and here's what's your consequence for doing that. And the child says, oh shit, my bad, fam. And we, you know what I'm saying? And we create a generation of people, you know, but I understand. I think when I speak about this, people think that I'm shaming them for, you know, doing what we've been taught to do. You know what I mean? And all I'm trying to do is say, consider it a different way. Like, I always look at it from my remembrance of things my mother broke over my head when she was angry. You know, things my mother threatened me. Like, my mother totally threatened me with, if you don't do right, you gonna end up with men sticking things in your ass.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
That was my mother's threat. I'm not even lying. My mother would threaten me with child prostitution if I didn't finish my homework.
Child prostitution.
You're gonna be selling your ass in the Tenderloin in San Francisco.
And I don't take it that way. I really feel, you know, the way that you speak about it is it's real. Like, I mean, and I agree with you on a lot of it. I think out of all 6 of my kids, I can, on one hand, talk about how many times I actually, like, physically put my hands on them. But at the same time, though, it's always still some things that's like, you know what? You might catch your ass whooping for this one. You gonna catch your ass whooping for this one. You know what I mean?
I mean, here's the thing. I don't judge people for what they have to do. And honestly, the one thing I do annoys me is when the parents film it for social media. They put it on social media. And I'm like, honestly, if I was that kid, I would wait till you turn that camera down and I would beat you with a bat. It's just like, why are you doing this for likes? Like, I thought you were doing this for me. I thought you wanted to discipline me, but it seems you want other people to like you doing your job. And it's like, I feel as fathers, like I hate when fathers say, I got to babysit my kids. What?
No babysitting.
No, you
got a parent?
kids.
You mean you got a parent?
Yeah,
you got a parent, right? And that right there tells me a lot about motherfucker. And I'm like, well, we probably won't be hanging out much. I can't do that. Like, it's hard to be in your presence because I'm thinking about your poor children.
It's embarrassing. It is so embarrassing.
It is, and it's hard to hang around people who don't have that kind of responsibility for the people that they create. Because if you don't love your children enough to be in their lives and to guide them, and you know what I mean, I don't want you in my circle because that means you ain't gonna look out for me that same way.
Not at all.
Not better than you look out for your kids. Nah, man.
Offspring, they come for you. That's true.
Chris, I'm laughing my ass off because my mama was embarrassing, man. I vividly remember one of her friends coming in the house as I'm crying, and she like, "Oh, baby, what's wrong with you?" And my mama going, "I just lit fire to that Negro ass." Like, you got to tell the whole world. God damn.
She would never admit to killing some man. If your friend came in, she would never be like, "Oh, yeah, I just chopped the nigga up in the back." But even my kid, that's cool.
Man.
And you just sitting there.
Nigga still putting band-aids on.
So now, I got not to switch topics a little bit, but I got a real question for you because you mentioned you was addicted to cocaine and you had drug addiction issues. Being in the comedy scene in this comedy world, man, it floats around like candy. How do you now, you know what I'm saying, keep yourself from diving back in and going back down that path?
Remembering the rock bottom, like it's crazy because it's like the touring with Dave Chappelle and all that. I wouldn't have been able to do that on cocaine, and I wasn't able to start doing that until I got off of it. Like literally, just realizing all the benefits to not doing it, and remembering how I was when I did do it, and then seeing the people that are still doing it and how our trajectory changed. Like there's so many people that was homies, and then as I stopped doing coke, it's like I don't even see them anymore.
Yeah,
it used to be that's all I saw. I don't even see them anymore because I'm not in that life anymore.
Okay. No, yeah. I feel like I spend a lot of time telling my friends in comedy, hey man, quit doing that shit. You don't need, but a lot of people feel like they need it in order to continue to go, in order to hit that stage, in order to
hit that
rock
high too, to get that energy level.
And then my thing is that you need that in order to keep going, and you don't love it. You don't love this comedy thing that we do that much.
Yeah.
If you need that in order to continue to do it, you know what I mean? Like yeah. Anything in life, if you need something in order to keep you in it, then you don't love it enough to actually be in it for what it is.
Well, I think also it's for a lot of people, it's a fear. Like, I remember when I was contemplating getting clean, my fear was I won't be as funny if I'm not a little drunk or a little high. I think I won't be as funny. I won't be as clever. I won't come up with these weird ass concepts. And then I realized once I stopped and I realized, oh shit, I was tripping. That's just what it is. It's really more the fear. It's not even that they don't love comedy. It's just that their fear of failure in comedy.
Okay.
It will drive an addiction further. Like that's how the addiction, you get to the addicted point where you're like, I just need a little bit to get here. I need a little bit to get there. Because trust me, whatever they said they need to get on stage, they needed a little to get there. They needed a little to get up. They needed a little to go to work. They needed a little. So little by little, you're doing more and more and more. And next thing you know, you are only going to places where you'll be able to get some cocaine.
Right. Drugs is a weird thing.
Oh no, I was gonna say I like how you put the benefits of not having to be on it. You know what I mean? And you're right. No late nights, no nothing. Because I definitely been out there partying myself a few times. You know what I mean? But the benefits of not having it is amazing because you get so much shit done. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be real. I do miss cleaning my apartment in like 20 minutes, but you know,
man, I had an uncle. He gave me the best drug advice ever when I was a kid. He was like, look, man, if you're going to start doing drugs, realize it's going to be like this. You're going to start doing them in order to, because he was a musician, but he also painted. And so on Sundays, he'd be out, you know what I'm saying, playing his instruments, you know what I mean, guitar and all that, and jazz and all that. Monday morning, he was like, man, I needed a little bit of crack in order to get up and go to work. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, then it got to the point where I was only working so I could buy crack, nigga. It's only a couple ways that this is gonna go. So if you're gonna decide to do it, just know the trouble you're getting into. And so it was something that kept me from jumping off that ledge or jumping into that. And so when it comes to my kids, when it comes to like drugs, I'm a big one of if I catch them with drugs, then I don't know if I'm gonna have a choice. We go fight it out.
Nah,
we got
take him over to see that uncle. Take him, be like, yo.
Oh, he dead as a motherfucker now. He kept smoking.
Exactly. Take him to go see that. This is drug addiction.
Yeah.
Was it a party thing? Was it a party thing for you at sometimes?
It started off as that.
Yeah.
And then I'm you in this entertainment game. You meet people who are in financial ability to continue to do it. They are, financially able to keep the party going, and then you try to keep up with them, and next thing you know, you're addicted without the financial ability to keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you just really, like you say, you're working to buy that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do anything else. You can literally go to work, go do this little show for $50, take that $50, put with your little work money, get some gas, pay whatever bills you got, then go buy yourself some drugs, and it drains you, because then you end up just high and then low, high and then low. You're never able to maintain here. And for your mental health, that's just terrible. That just keeps you always on a low, because when you're high, you're up there. You're like, but when you come down, that shit is like your depression. You're just like feeling like the worst person, and then because you feel so bad, you're like, well, I'm gonna do more drugs. Fuck it, I don't care. And then you add alcohol into that, and whatever you.
What was like we got like 4 minutes left on the call too, by the way. So probably have like 2 minutes left. But I was just gonna ask like one question. What was like really the deciding factor for you to quit quit doing so-called what the white girls call it, the party favors? What was that, and how did you go about doing that?
Really, it was just kind of like, you just get tired. Like, everybody has, like, you can't force people to go into recovery. It's like, you just really wake up one morning, you're just tired of it. You're just like, I just do not want to be like this anymore. This is draining. This is just not working. It's not fun anymore. It's not a party anymore. Now this is life. So, and then I just called a homie up and I said, can you take me to this program? And I wanted my friend to take me, because I knew if I drove myself, I could just leave. But if he took me, I had to stay. And he said, I'm going to sit out here until you're done. And he sat in the lobby, and I went and talked to a counselor. And I started a program after that, and going to AA and just doing all those things. And, it was time.
Yeah, we about to get out of here. But before we go, I got one last question for you, and then all of us can be able to answer this. But you might cut off before we get a chance to. Top 3 comedy influences outside of comedians. So like it can be family, friend, you know what I mean? Outside of, you know what I mean? Yeah. The people.
Okay. My nigga Abdul, he is Mos Def's older brother and DJ. Nigga's hilarious. Him, damn. This is, I don't even know this. Like, you guys, a nigga, but you know a nigga name.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Cat I used to hang out with at these parties. He was really like a real pimp character. He just always rhymed when he talked. He was hilarious. What's that? That bitch called Life.
Facts.
For real.
But no,
So,
man.
that was it.
We appreciate you for coming,
For
Chris,
real.
man, for real.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you for the wise words, and thank you for because we younger comics. I've been doing 4 years. Gee, what, 5 years?
Yeah.
Gee, how long you been doing it for?
Right around that same 5,
So
6.
we all around that at the same time, and it's an honor to have somebody that's been across the world doing what we do locally and what we want to do one day across the world. It's an honor.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me. Just keep hitting them stages.
For sure. Thank you, man. I wish you all the love, all the success, and everything that you that God thinks you deserve and you think you deserve. I wish you all of it, man.
Can't wait to see your name on SNL too.
That's
Can't
right.
wait to see you on SNL.
Working on it.
Stay blessed.
I'm working on it now.
Already.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Sir.
All right, man. Peace.
All right, bye.
But yeah, so I know y'all got to answer that question too, though, before we go. Answer the question too.
Mine is my kids, all 7 of them, and my mom and my dad's experiences because they some funny people. Like, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, but I gotta go right now.
All right, head on.
I'm supposed to be there at 1 o'clock.
All right, bro.
Oh, man.
How about you, Q?
Definitely family.
Yeah.
No doubt. My grandparents in particular. Now that I have kids, I can say kids. Peace out, Ikes, my brother. And yeah, just friends, being around sports. All the friends that I done had playing football definitely bring about some comedic influences. Stories.
Yeah.
Stories for days. We look right here now, right?
Yeah, it's all good. It's
New to
yeah. But then also though, I think for me it is my mom was one of the funniest people I ever met. She was like that corny funny, you know what I mean? That type that something that happened and she'd just come home laughing about it and you look, wow, what the hell happened? And then she'd give you the story about, you know what I'm saying, this ridiculous shit that happened. It was always wholesome too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'd say my grandma was one of the my dad's mom, my grandma Barbara. She was one of them just honest. You know what I mean? She gonna give it to you exactly how it is. Yeah. And then other than that, my uncles.
Oh yeah.
All of them. They used to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just listen to them talk.
Yeah.
Play dominoes and you know what I'm saying? You got a chance to sit old enough to sit at that domino table. Oh man, it was over from there. It was nothing but comedy.
Yeah, exactly, man. Family bring about the best influences in everything.
Oh yeah.
Shit. And the older you get them pastime stories.
Facts.
What really happened.
Yeah. The truth.
The truth.
Yeah. But yeah, man, thank y'all for tuning in. This has been 4 Black Dads. We signing off right now. I'm one of your hosts, G Wade, and our guest host today,
Doolie.
Yeah, shout out to Doolie. And Ikes had to run. He gotta go put on the toupee. He putting the man unit on at 1 o'clock and he late.
Gotta go be with them folks.
We finna get out of here. We gonna watch some football. We finna have a good day. So, peace, man. Love y'all.
There it is.